Apparently black men out of that trend means a lot of potential wealth that could go into the black community won't go into the black community, because people who could have become middle class professionals and intellectuals will not be able to make that leap.
Let's get started. Black men are not going to college because a lot of them have early educational trauma. Black boys are disproportionately suspended, disciplined, and expelled more than any other group. Same studies show that black boys are seen as more threatening and older than their peers. And they just don't see themselves in educational spaces. Less than 2% of teachers are black men. We all know that black history is always ignored or misrepresented. And who wants to sit in a classroom talking about white people all day? And they ain't white. Chances are, if you are a black man and you didn't go to college, you were dealing with some economic pressure and some role expectations. Black men are pushed into manhood early, whether implicitly or explicitly. Let me explain. Your mama single. She raising y'all by herself. She may not have told you to get up and go do something because your daddy ain't there, but you did because you felt that pressure. A lot of y'all was born into survival. So education became a luxury and not a priority. And this will look like going to trade school or working in a factory as soon as you get out of school, because the cash would be more helpful right away.
Hey, my brothers, back again. And I'll probably be doing this later on a live, and this seems to be the biggest story of the past couple days. It's old news that's become new news about black boys not in college, especially HBCUs, which is not unusual. This is something that's been going on since for 100 years at least, where only less than 25% of black men go to or attend HBCUs. And this kind of stuff has been around. They had an article that was sent to me from Du Bois, got to be like in the 1940s, saying the exact same thing. It's not new. It's not new. The thing is, why all of a sudden is it getting all this attention? Does it mean that black women are going to come in and help black men start programs to help black boys? No. Does it mean that black women have learned the error of their ways and they're going to do the right thing and work with their black men to save their black boys and save their community? No. This, gentleman, is the diss track. That's all it is. All this stuff is a diss track prepared by black women and black leaning men, right? Black women leaning men. That's all this guy is. He's a black woman leaning man. He's a feminist in male clothing. All they're doing now is showing you, or trying to show, how inadequate you are as a man. That's really all it is. They're not trying to help. They're not trying to pass legislation. Most of the legislation that's in the state, local, and the federal is there, but it's been stalled. And you have all these black female politicians. Think last count, 4 out of 5 of your black politicians are female. Have they done anything? Remember, they put all those female Houston judges on a bench? Has anything improved for black men since they've been on the bench? Have they come out with anything? Any kind of news, any writings, any insights? No. In fact, somebody just sent me some stuff from Twitter. The black women are using this to dunk on you. In other words, they're using this to talk about how inadequate you are, how bad you are, how dumb you are, how you don't read, you don't work, you don't go to school, you don't care about education, you don't care about families, you don't care about your kids. In other words, it's the same old trope. They're not putting this stuff out here to help you. They're doing this stuff to put you down. They're still angry about Kamala Harris not winning. They're still angry about that. And they're looking to spite you. Like, these stats and these facts come out every freaking quarter. Every last one of them. They come out every quarter. I asked one of the professors, how often do these stats come out? They have meetings about this stuff constantly, about what the makeup of the school is, what the grades are, who's succeeding, who's not succeeding, what the IQ scores are. All this stuff is recorded on paper for the last 100 years. It's recorded on paper. They know exactly what it is. They don't know exactly what the problem is. They don't know exactly where the problem starts. Kunjufu has been writing about the same problem since the mid-1980s, 40 years. He's been writing about this. Nobody cares. Dr. Umar, when he's not talking this queen stuff, when he's not talking about how inadequate black men are, he's been talking about education of black boys for the last 20 years. And very good at it when he does that. Has Dr. Umar weighed in? He's an expert. Has he weighed in on the education of black boys and how come black boys are not going to college? Don't get it twisted. They don't care. They do not care. They don't care about you not going to college, you not going to school. They're not trying to start programs for you, nonprofits for you, so that black boys can get a better start. And the ones that do have a push and can get some traction, they kill. When black women got that $10 billion or grant from Goldman Sachs, or the announcement of the $10 billion grant from Goldman Sachs, man, they threw that in our faces, and they gave us their behind the kiss, and they gave us the deuces, and they told us exactly where we fit in and who people thought were valuable. And they flipped us the bird. That's $10 billion. $10 billion would it be? Now, Barack Obama got a coalition to start My Brother's Keeper for an educational system for black boys that was less than $200 million. Less than $200 million. Nothing. Nothing compared to what's spent on girls. Nothing. Women raise holy hell. Raise holy hell to stop that program. Holy hell. Still raising holy hell. My Brother's Keeper has to keep this stuff quiet, otherwise women will come and attack it. When they tried to get separate education for black boys and boys' schools, even though they know that it works and it would help the boys and help the boys be better, women raise holy hell. They do everything to kill those programs. They had a big program of that in Chicago, and from all indications, the program was working. They killed those schools. All them boys' schools in Chicago, they killed those schools. To do what? What, to house migrants in the wintertime? They don't care about you. You are in the place that you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be under them. And they will fight tooth and nail to keep you under them. And the little political advantage, a little political say-so that you had over the past, couple years? It hasn't been, 4 years? It hasn't been 50, it's been 4. Now they need to put you back in your place. That's all this is. That's all this is. There's more non-black people in HBCUs than black men. Now, that's supposed to be an alarm that we should do something about this. It's supposed to be an alarm that we should find out what the problem is and solve this problem, because we think it's a social crime, which is something Monahan said back in the 60s. He said, when he talked about black male unemployment, he said it's a social crime. Undereducated black boys is a social crime. That was a white man that said that, a white, liberal white man that said that about black boys back in the 60s. Now, fast forward 60 years, basically black women are still doing the same thing. When are you going to get it through your heads? They don't want you to advance. They don't want you to be better. That's why I call them the queen of the ashes. They'd rather see the black community go down and they rule it than elevate you and you pull the black community out of its muck and its mire. They don't care. Are they doing anything to help the men that are trying to get trade schools going and put these boys in the trades? No. Do they push these boys toward these trade schools? No. Do they sit with the boys and help them read? No. Do they even check on the school to make sure the boys are learning what they're supposed to be learning? No. No emails, no phone calls, no texts, no nothing. Because they don't care. They do not care. In fact, it's the opposite. They want to find a reason to put you down. They want to find a reason to make you less than. There's nothing that a black man can do besides kissing a black woman's behind. Princella said the same thing, right? What they believe is they want a man to worship the ground that they walk on. That's what they think a man is for. Black women think black men are here to worship the ground that they walk on. And if they do anything other than that, they're out of pocket. You're not supposed to be ahead of them in school or equal to them in school. They can't do anything about the earnings. If they could do something about the earnings, they would. If they could find a way to make more money than you, they would. Then what they would love to do is have you in squalor and on the street. And when they need some sex, they need some adulation, some company to pull you off the street, clean you up for a week or two, have sex with you and dump you back on the street. They would love that. They would love that. What do you think Pookies are for? What do you think street dudes are for? Street dudes are there to entertain black women. They're not there to do anything. They're not there to do anything. They're there for emotional support and emotional labor. Black women need you to support them, need you to help support the family. That's not what they want. They would love not to need you. If black women could get along and not need black men, they would. They would do it in a heartbeat. That's how come they took that deal with the state. That's how come they took that deal with the government. Man of the house is not a black man. Man of the house is Uncle Sam. And they know it. And they train their girls and train their boys. They train their boys to follow their girls. I've been saying that since I've been on YouTube because I've seen it. I've seen it. I've heard the same thing in Canada, right? From Jamaican culture. When mama's away, the food is locked up. And guess who has the key? It's not the boys. They give the girl the key because the girl's in charge, because the food and the resources has to flow through the girl. Master made sure the same thing happens with the black family. The resources and the money flow through the woman, and she's there to keep the man under control. The boys found that out back in the turn of the century. The exact same thing in Philadelphia. It has not changed. That's all this track is. Keep you in their place. And the thing is, now that Donald Trump is in, and Donald Trump said, you know what? I understand that you don't like black guys. I understand that you don't like black men. I understand that you want to keep them underneath you, but guess what? We need them now. We gotta put these guys to work. We gotta put them out there in the field. Because America needs these guys to be the best they can be, because they need to pull this country up. And black women are not with that. Black women are with the DEI so that they can get together with white women. White women and black women know they can't compete. So guess what they want to do? They want to push you out. They want to use the white man and the white laws to keep you down. And that's all this particular thing is. The HBCUs have had these stats since the 1930s. They know who shows up to their school. They know the makeup of their student body. They have been keeping stats forever. This is not new. I don't know why this is shocking. It's not shocking. Why is it out now? It's because they want to show how inadequate black men are. And there's other stuff that's going to follow it. Because what are they saying now? The reason that black men aren't in school is because they don't want to go. The reason that black men don't want to read is because they don't want to read. The reason that black men can't read or don't want to go to school, yada, 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 because they're watching porn and they're on video games. The reason black men don't know how to do this is because they're trying to get black women pregnant and leave them. So in these inadequate violent, evil black men not doing anything positive in their life, and they're keeping the black community down, and they're keeping black women down. The reason that black women can't move forward is because they're tied to these no good and inadequate men. I was just reading this because I asked this about Stacey Abrams and her sisters, right? How can 3 sisters go to Ivy League schools and the 2 boys don't? Raised in the same family. Raised in the same family with the same genetic code. How come the 3 girls go to Ivy League schools and the boys do not? Interesting. Is the black family so toxic to black boys that black boys cannot succeed? With that, I'm going to bounce out of here. This is BGS out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.